Hey, how you doing? You like the Dune, I like the Dune, we like the Dune. So let's check out some stuff about Dune. Frank Herbert's sci-fi classic was written in 1965. It blew up, people loved it. So he wrote another 5 sequels to Dune. After that, his son and his friend or whoever ended up making a whole bunch of other books. So there's a huge amount of stories in the Dune universe, and here's 5 plus an honorable mention that have made it to the big screen. Honorable mention, Flash Gordon. This is one of the weirdest ones that takes from Dune. There's all sorts of elements from the story that are mixed into this movie to try to give it a sci-fi, otherly worldly feel, but overall it's just got that strange sort of 70s disco sex funk vibe to it. It's an amazing mashup of Dune and Barbarella, so any excuse to watch Flash Gordon, really. Number 5, Children of Dune. This is a Sci-Fi Channel 3-part miniseries starring James McAvoy and Susan Sarandon, so top-tier acting quality. But it's based off of Herbert's sequel to his own books. It's kind of the follow-up to the original Dune story, and it's the follow-up to... Number 4, Dune. This is also a 3-part miniseries for the Sci-Fi Channel, starring William Hurt this time. Before Battlestar Galactica, Sci-Fi Channel dabbled in creating original content, but there was always thought that made-for-TV movies just couldn't get a big enough budget to do something sci-fi, especially an epic like Dune, right? Most people thought Dune was unfilmable at this point. So the idea that Dune and Children of Dune were even able to make, watchable movies that were pretty entertaining is rather impressive. So I'd give them a watch, but they're still lower down on the list for a reason. Number 3, Dune. As I said, Dune was previously considered to be an unfilmable property. So anytime some visionary director came along who was extra weird and interesting, Hollywood was like, hey, you got any interest in trying to do Dune? And David Lynch took him up on it. So he, like everybody else, kind of struck out at this, although his version is interesting and weird, and some of the ideas that he put into it were ideas that were originally created by some of the first people who tried to put Dune together. So his movie walked a fine line of trying to be something commercially successful and David Lynch stuff, So it lives in a weird neither fish nor fowl world. That's why it doesn't quite succeed, but it is visually interesting to check out, and all of the actors in it did a great job. Number 2, Dune. Denis Villeneuve's instant classic is a modern masterpiece. It's arguably just as good as Lord of the Rings or up there with the original Star Wars trilogy. The problem is we don't totally know that 2 and whatever comes beyond that are coming. It's been greenlit that 2 will come out off of the success and how great of a job they did on this first one, but we still don't totally know how much money that means, how much of a marketing push that means. We don't know if there's going to be anything following that up. When they do these it depends movies, it's always up in the air. So where this is going right now looks pretty fantastic, and I definitely recommend it. Check it out on the big screen while you can. Number 1, Jodorowsky's Dune. Alejandro Jodorowsky, or Jodorowsky, or however the heck you say that guy's name, is a friggin' genius. He's kind of the Salvador Dali of filmmaking. He is out there, and it's a joy to hang out with him during the course of this documentary. We follow his journey to try to get Dune made back in the 70s, I think it is. Like Lynch, Jodorowsky is a visionary filmmaker at the time, and people thought, well, you should do Dune, or I think mainly he thought he should do Dune. But this was before Star Wars. This was before any big, huge, giant sci-fi epic ever came out. So his ambition and his passion that goes into trying to get this project made is captured during this documentary, and the story is told, and you see the huge books of art, and we meet all these celebrities, and he travels all around the world in an attempt to get this movie made. So the story of his passion and what all that goes into the love of a project like this, even though it never materializes, is something to see. And it also makes you appreciate Dune. All right, so there you go. There's the 5 best plus an honorable mention Dune movies you should check out to satiate your love of Dune. You have a good day, and you watch out for sandworms.